Have you seen this boy?
The 1976 AMC Pacer that Garth and Wayne drive around in is absolutely iconic, in my mind at least. When this movie came out, I was super into hot rods, dragsters, and high-octane fuel, but for some reason, this goofy little Pacer captured my heart. I always dreamt of getting one and slapping an LS into it, making the Mirthmobile a truly chunky, girthy boy mobile. June 7th, 1984. Ghostbusters drag races from premiere to #1 at the box office. Its success had nothing to do with the exceptional cast, the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, or Zool. It was due solely in part to the Ecto 1. It's a 1959 Cadillac Miller Meteor Sentinel that stole our hearts and captured our imagination. Not a kid I knew back in the 80s didn't fantasize about being a Ghostbuster and riding around in Ecto 1.
We came, we saw, we kicked its ass!
Legendary car designer George Barris, who is an icon in the world of hot rodding, is absolutely responsible for my love of cars. He not only did the Munster's coach, which is a combination of 3 Model T bodies and a Ford 289 cubic inch engine in just 3 weeks' time with fellow legend Dick Dean, but he also crafted the original Batmobile from a Lincoln Futura, the Griswold family's war wagon they drove across the country, and some other exquisite works of art. It is no exaggeration to say that car culture is what it is because of George Barris and his fellow hot rodders. When Ferris Bueller stole a Ferrari in 1986, little old 9-year-old me was sitting at the movie theater with my daddy, and I can absolutely remember that exact moment. The Ferrari 250 GT California just graced itself onto the screen. Sleek, sexy, and fast. She was exactly what I pictured Cindy Crawford would look like as a car. There is no wonder that this incredible car is valued at $48.5 million today. I bet Cameron feels like a turd because he ruined it by stomping it out a window. Steve McQueen ripped his Mustang GT390 fastback through San Francisco in the 1968 film Bullitt. Man, I have seen that chase about 100 times. The rest of the movie was kinda meh, but Steve McQueen demonstrated what muscle cars should be. He was a professional racing driver and his heart ate gasoline. My first memories are Daddy playing that movie over and over so much, I actually thought that McQueen was my daddy. The 67 Shelby GT500 is featured as Eleanor in Gone in 60 Seconds, and good old Captain Personality Nicky Cage had the honor of driving that. John Wick's whip was also a Mustang, the 1969 Mustang Boss 429. What's awesome about Mr. Wick's is that while Ford rated it at 375 horsepower from the factory, it is believed that it actually produced a testosterone-inducing 500 horsepower. You simply do not love muscle cars if you haven't seen American Graffiti at least 6 times. The all-star cast was insane. It even had Wolfman Jack.
How you doing, Diane?
But it had several spectacular cars, including the 1955 Chevy 150 driven by scruffy-looking nerf herder Han Solo, who's also coming up again in a little bit, and a 1932 Ford 5-window coupe. Speaking of the 30s coupes, ZZ Top's Billy Gibbons was known to collect and feature his cars in the videos for ZZ Top, including his iconic 33 Ford coupe. We have all wondered what was really in Shaggy and Scooby's snacks, but we gotta focus for a minute on the Mystery Machine. The real mystery is this: what actual van is it based on? It's completely unknown, probably because them creators had too many of them Scooby snacks themselves. There ain't no way it had a V8 in it, and that is a shame. I could see Fred just mashing that pedal to the floor and rocketing around like Speed Racer. Speaking of that, the Mach 5 is something unique and special. Auto fabricator Mark from the Netflix show Car Masters Rust to Riches made one from scratch that is now in the world famous Peterson Automotive Museum, which I have been invited to personally view, and I will have that on a live stream coming up real soon, subscribe to check that out. Remember that scruffy looking nerf herder from earlier?
Scruffy looking nerf herder.
You know, Han Brolo? Yeah, he piloted most of my life. You see, I really am a big old gooba nerd, and I love me some Star Wars. The Millennium Falcon is capable of doing the Kessel Run in less than 12 parsecs. And a fun fact is that the parsec, well, that's a way of measuring distance, not time. Basically, that whole line means that Han found a shortcut because his flying saucer was so daggone awesome. In Star Wars Legends, he traveled to Earth, died, and Chewbacca becomes Bigfoot. But also on Earth, we had something in Montana called First Contact. That's where the Vulcans detected a warp signature from Dr. Zephram Cochrane's Phoenix that he constructed from an old Titan II nuclear missile. That led to the entire NX series of spacecraft piloted by legends such as Captain Archer, Pike, Kirk, Picard, and others. We're talking about the Enterprise.
Star Trek Enterprise was an amazing show. I truly loved it. You don't like it? We need to square up, you and me and you. That's right. Fight me down in the comments. Also, make sure you check out right here because I got some amazing stuff I'm about to show you.